What's up, YouTube? I'm Mike, and today I'm back shooting another quick rant video based off of the previous rant. And today, I'm actually looking for audience involvement on audience involvement. On my last video, which I knew before I posted it was gonna be somewhat inflammatory, spoiler alert, that's the fucking reason I posted it, we get Patrick Lewis in the comments section. And Patrick Lewis says, I enjoyed the discussions on training and supplementation. You've lost me with these rants. Going too far. I will choose to unsubscribe. Well, fucking bye, Patrick Lewis. What I want to understand is, why did you take the time to write that comment to me? What were you hoping to get in return? Were you expecting that I was suddenly going to go, holy fuck, Patrick Lewis is leaving? My channel's going down. I'll never be able to survive this loss. Let me immediately apologize, delete the video, and start only producing the content that Patrick Lewis wants. Because I can't fucking go on without him. I mean, what did you think? What was the point of making that comment? So you like all of the bodybuilding content, you didn't like the rant, you didn't like another rant, and so rather than just going, oh, Mike produced a new video, it's a rant. I don't really enjoy that content. I'll wait for his next bodybuilding video. No, you couldn't do something fucking smart like that. You needed to leave. And it's not even the leaving that bothers me. I get some people come and go all the time. That's just the nature of any human interaction. I may have a friend today that I fucking can't stand tomorrow. I used to watch every one of Derek's videos. I watch next to zero of Derek's videos now. Doesn't have fuck all to do with him. If you go scrolling through every comment on all of Derek's videos or Vigorous Steve's videos, you will not find one where I said, I'm leaving. So help me guys understand. What is the point of that comment? For those of you who subscribe to a lot of YouTubers, it's not like I've never said anything like that. You know, I've gotten my panties in the wad a couple of fucking times, usually over some stupid shit on Instagram, and it's usually on some ideological shit. So maybe that's the case here. Maybe, just maybe Patrick Lewis was trans. You know, I mean, that's kind of what makes me feel like. Maybe Patrick Lewis was trans. He was watching my content in hopes of using the hormone information, or maybe he was very liberal. I mean, that's the problem, see? When you put yourself out there in public like that and you leave a comment on somebody's video saying, I'm going to choose to unsubscribe. If you're a guy like me, I start trying to get into the psychology of this because I'm trying to be good at what I do. When I was a professional sales, if I lost a customer, well, I wanted to know why. Obviously, I know I can't please everybody, but it's good to have feedback and an understanding. So if a customer says, oh, dude, I'm not abandoning you completely, you know, I'm still gonna buy this product from you. It's just that there's another product that I'm gonna choose to get from somebody else. Okay, cool, that makes good sense. But if a customer goes, no, I'm just fucking done with you completely, there must be a reason. So in Patrick Lewis's case, apparently that reason was my rant videos. Something that apparently the overwhelming majority of you like. So maybe Patrick Lewis will get back in the comments section and he will write us all a more descriptive comment as to, one, why were his panties so in a wad? Two, why didn't he just choose to not watch the rant videos if he doesn't like them? Or three, why didn't he choose to fuck off quietly? Why did he need to do it in this sort of loud, look at me kind of moment? You know, this is a thing that was happening on Twitter a lot when Elon took over. Remember all the people who'd been on Twitter who were enjoying the total leftist haven that it was, where they could just bag on fucking conservatives or centrists or whatever they wanted to. They could just speak with impunity. For real? My automatic garage door is going to close in the middle of this video. I apologize for that. So when Elon took over Twitter, you would see this like on a regular basis. I think one of the funniest ones was when fucking Elton John wrote a tweet like, I'm leaving Twitter. And I was like, Elton John's on Twitter? Who gives a fuck what Elton John has to say about anything? And don't misunderstand, I own every fucking album that man ever produced. Yeah, I fucking love Elton John. But I don't go to Elton John to get his take on the latest breaking news. I don't give two fucks if Elton John doesn't like what Elon Musk is doing on Twitter. Just stop using it. But why the fanfare? Why the, oh, I'm leaving and I'm going to tell everybody about it? Because when you do that, you open the door up for two things. One, you open the door up for an asshole like me to make a whole video about you. Holy fuck. That MyQ garage door has been a fucking menace for me for the past 3 weeks. I'm about to fucking throw the whole thing in the trash. So when you do that, you open the gate for one of two things to happen. One, you run the risk that some asshole is going to make an entire video about you like I just did. Or two, you expose yourself to the very realistic possibility that what you're doing is having an emotional reaction. You got wounded by something someone said, you weren't mature enough to fucking handle it, and so you just stormed off and said, fuck you, I'm leaving. And then eventually you're going to come to your senses and you're going to go, you know, that Mike's kind of a fucking asshole in those rant videos, but he does make a unique kind of content that not a lot of people produce. And he does go way out of his way to acknowledge every single person in his audience and give a lot of free advice on Instagram and everywhere he comes into contact with people. That's kind of a valuable thing to have in this community. Maybe I should subscribe again. Then you look like a fucking asshole because you stormed off in a fucking fit and then you come back anyway when you realize that you overreacted. And that's what we saw happen a lot on Twitter. And I know for a fact it happens in my fucking my YouTube channel. There's another person that I've watched come and go because I can fucking tell, guys, my channel's not that big. It's pretty easy for me to see the people who come and go. They're in the comment section one day and they start getting a little butthurt the next day and then they're out the door the next. You know, like I used to be a huge George Carlin fan. I fucking loved Carlin. The thing about Carlin though, is you can't be a snowflake and be a Carlin fan because George was going to find a way to fucking offend every single person that went to one of his shows. I didn't agree with everything the man said. We probably had nothing in common politically, but he was a funny guy. One of the things he said in one of his stand-up shows just like fucking struck me to the core. He was making fun of people who wear visors. And he goes, you know these fucking guys that wear a visor? Why don't you go back to the store and tell me what the other 2/3 of your fucking hat? And I'm sitting here laughing, right? Wearing a fucking visor. And it strikes you, it hits you. We're all human. Somebody makes fun of you, somebody says something that gets under your skin, you feel it for a second. But the entire rest of that show, I had just sat there enjoying laughing at the expense of other people. And then Carlin says something where the people in the room are laughing at my expense, and I laughed too. That's the response you're supposed to have. We all do crazy, goofy shit. And laughing and joking about life is one of the ways to make it bearable. This world we live in now where somebody says something you don't like and you just melt down about it. Like everybody's trying to cancel Dave Chappelle and cancel all these comedians. And he said something offensive I don't like. Even the Budweiser thing. I'm not calling for anybody to cancel anybody. You have a right to say, you should have a right to say whatever you want to say. All I'm saying is you should take all of this shit with a grain of salt. There's a huge difference between deciding that you're not going to invest money in someone's business or someone as an individual when you don't like necessarily all of the things they have to say, especially when it's an ideological thing. You know, maybe I decide Carlin's a funny guy, but I'm not going to pay to go see his show, so I'll watch it for free when it gets on fucking Netflix or something. Technically, I'm still paying for it, but you know the point. So that's the thing. I don't understand it. You know, I'm lit up this week. Obviously, the trend is flowing strong in the system. A lot of people are like fucking shocked. Dude's on 100 milligrams of Tren. He's been on Tren for 2 weeks, and this is the reaction. Yes, guys, this is the fucking reaction. A lot of people don't believe that you can have full-blown side effects from small doses of Tren. I think I had somebody in the comments the other day trying to argue the point. I honestly don't think the Tren side effects, I mean, they are dose dependent to a degree, but you can get the full gamut of negative side effects on really low doses of Tren. Right now, the only side effect I'm not experiencing is night sweats, and I have a fucking strong feeling that those are right around the fucking corner. So there you have it. I'm not gonna continue beating this guy up any further than I already have. I just thought it was a funny comment. It got me worked up. I figured I would turn it into a little bit of content. I would love to hear from Patrick Lewis in the comments. I would love for you to explain us all why you felt like you needed to leave in such amazing fashion. And for anyone else out there who can maybe enlighten me on like what causes that, you know? Is it really just, are people that sensitive, or did I just strike an ideological core with someone and they had enough? As always, I always look forward to all of you guys' feedback. I try my best to get to each and every one of you, at least with a heart, so that you know that I read your comment. When I used to follow Derek's videos, you know, I was like JS, my boy JS is in the comments every day. He's trying to be #1. I used to comment on Derek's videos very early on in the video because it feels good to get a heart and or some response. And I try to reach out to all of you guys, some of you who comment a lot. You know, obviously I can't reach out to each and every one of you. On my last video, someone wrote the most, I haven't even read it. I gotta be honest, I haven't read the whole thing. I started reading this comment. I'm walking through Walmart with my kid trying to buy him a bike. And I start reading this comment. It's like paragraph 1, paragraph 2. I'm halfway into paragraph 3. I'm like, holy fuck, this guy's got a lot to say. So I start skimming. I think this is like 10 paragraphs in this comment. So whoever you are, you must have had something really important to you to say. I will read your comment before I go to bed tonight, and if possible, I'll make a video response if it's warranted. I don't even know exactly what it's about. I think it was getting into what I consider to be the middle ground. So I may make a video talking about that. So we'll just see what we have. There you have it. As always, thank you for all of you who watch and comment. Every comment, even the negative ones, even the storming out, slamming the door behind you comments feed the algorithm, and so that's very much appreciated. I guess I'll say it this time, like and subscribe and share, guys. It really helps me keep this channel going. I have a lot of fun making this content, and so anything you can do to help drive the algorithm is much appreciated, and we'll see you on the next one.